Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So, we listed some properties in Luna County back in February. They pretty much all sold in a weekend. One took a little longer. So, I got the bright idea that maybe we should buy some more properties in Luna County. It seems like there's a demand for them. So, we went back and we have scooped up and are now debuting 8 properties in Luna County. All of these are in the Deming Ranchettes subdivision. The only difference between these and the last group that we listed, the last ones we listed were all 1 acre properties that we had priced at $900. I tried to keep to the basically $900 an acre formula. I was able to do it more on some of these than less on others, but basically we've got 4 2-acre properties, 1 3-acre property, 2 5-acre properties, this one, and then we've got an 8-acre property, which as you can see from the headline here is half a city block. I should just also let you guys know that location-wise, there are 7 of these properties that are pretty close to Deming. The 8th property, which is this one, which was clearly shot on a different day, is closer to Aquila. So just an FYI on that, okay? Anyway, I'm going to talk about one of these properties, and I'm going to kind of walk you through each listing page, and then we're going to repost this video on all of these individual properties listing pages, simply because the information is basically the same for all of them, okay? So I'm going to start off with this one, LNM 0004A. I should just have you guys know, so we have the sort of generic write-up that we do just about the area. That's the first paragraph there. On each of these listing pages, you're going to have the things to know section. These are going to be property-specific notes about each one of these lots. It's going to look like this is all the same text. It's not. But each one of these is going to address what the road conditions are like at the specific property, availability of utilities, any sort of nearby road or landmark or anything that's noteworthy is also going to be referenced in these notes. So I would encourage you guys, if you're comparing and contrasting one lot versus another, this is going to be a really good way to do it. And another good way to do it is obviously bring them all up on a map and see where each one is. So we're going to do that right now. As with all of our listings, come down here, click the GPS coordinates. It's going to bring it up on the Google Maps. So this first one, 04A, is the one that's in the most developed area. This one sits here off of Milpa Road. As you can see, there's homes around here. There's utilities, power on each street along the property. This one has power at the lot line. And if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that this one is actually pretty close to Deming proper up here. Simultaneously, here's the airport, here's the Walmart Supercenter. So you got a pretty quick drive to all of those things. Now, that's 04A. Pretty much all the other properties are located down here in this section. Give or take a block or two, pretty much all the other properties are down here. And that one that I showed you guys that's outside of Aquila, Aquila is over here. That property sits up in this area. Okay, but they're all part of Deming Ranchettes. But those are the only real differences in location. Whatever the case. Let's just talk about Deming Ranchettes for a second here. So this is a subdivision that when the developer came along and broke up all these properties, bought up a couple thousand acres of land and subdivided them all, he subdivided them all into half-acre lots. Fortunately, he sold them 2 at a time to people. So everybody who bought land out there bought basically 1 acre of property. Now, as anybody who's subscribed to this channel or who's listened to me yammer on about land and other videos knows, in New Mexico, nobody's going to tell you can't build on anything less than 3/4 of an acre in rural areas like this, but it becomes more difficult to do. And that's a whole other video in itself. So, point being, you've got a lot of subdivisions in New Mexico where the developers came in, chopped everything up into 1/4 and half-acre lots, and then zoning law changed in the state, and good luck doing anything with those properties now. Simultaneously, they're usually not great investment properties because you're going to need a developer to make a real concerted effort one day to come in and buy as many adjacent lots as they can, recombine them, and then start building on those, whatever they're going to build, houses, development, condos, etc. In an area like this, where everything is basically 1 acre lots, or every owner has 2 half-acres, there's a far greater chance for development, number one. Number two, it means that whatever you buy from us out here, you're going to be able to build on. You're not going to have any of those building restrictions that a lot of property under 3/4 of an acre suffers from. So that's the first big thing. The second thing that I like about this Deming Ranchettes is that the whole area, so obviously there's a concentration of population up here by the highway, up here by Deming, but it's not like it's just up here. In fact, if you look at the map all throughout the subdivision, you're going to see homes down here. Now, obviously, a little more sparse down here, but there are homes out here. There is development out this way. It's not exclusive to just the area by the highway. So all throughout Deming Ranchettes, you're going to find farms, you're going to find orchards, you're going to find homes, you're going to find people, living and thriving out here. Okay, so as far as I hate to talk about it solely as an investment property, but I mean, it's not like you're going to buy land out here and then cross your fingers and hope at sometime in 50 years that this area is all going to develop out to here. No, quite the contrary. You buy land out here and you're going to be pretty close to other people who are already living out here. So it may be a little further from Deming, but it's not by any means remote, yet you still have privacy. Now, the other nice thing I like about Deming Ranchettes is that all of the roads out here, not just up this way, not just up by Deming, but all of the roads all throughout the subdivision are pretty well maintained. You click on any one of these listing pages and you're going to be able to scroll down to the bottom of the page and see photos that were taken from the exact property. And you're going to see that all of the roads out here are pretty easy to navigate. Any vehicle type is going to be able to get in and out of here. So you're not going to have to worry about, number one, can I even get to the property? And number two, if I can, how much of a headache is it going to be every time I want to go back and forth? How much of my money or time is going to be spent trying to either grade the road or get the county to come in and do something for me? All of these roads are really well maintained out here. So that's another, nice selling point about Deming Ranchettes. The other thing is that power is pretty much throughout the entire subdivision. You'll see power lines. I'm not going to say on every block, but every other block definitely. And maybe they don't. Let's pick a road here. Maybe they don't go up and down each street, but they're certainly available on each street or every other street. Now, there will be notes on every one of these listing pages about the proximity of power. It's usually the second bullet point, right? So power lines can be found approximately 0.2 of a mile from this property. Notations about power will also be reiterated down here in the table, 0.2 of a mile away along Sombra. Okay, but the point is that power is, I don't want to say ubiquitous, but I mean it's certainly more available in a subdivision like this than I have seen in other parts of New Mexico. So that's a nice thing about these properties. The other thing I want to make you guys aware of. Why does it take so long for the page to load? I don't know. The other thing I want to make you guys aware of is if you have questions about zoning, about can I do this, can I do that, we're going to have these helpful PDFs down here that you could click on, and it's going to bring up what are called the covenants and restrictions within the subdivision. Now, we get these directly from the county. So, yes, the county sends us a black image with white writing on it, and then some of these are black on white, some of them are white on black. Obviously, with all of them, you're going to have to magnify it a little bit to be able to read them. But each one of these CCR pages is going to be specific to whatever this property's unit is. So, for instance, with this 03B listing, this is in Unit 53. So all of the CCRs that you read on this PDF are going to be specific to Unit 53, or the collection of units that all fall under those guidelines. Okay. Now, you're looking at 2 pages here of covenants and restrictions, and maybe you're thinking, "Oh my God, there's so many so many rules to follow." They're not. Most of this is just common sense, good neighbor stuff. I think I read in here one of the rules is something like you can't basically have a landfill on your property. You can't use the property to store broke down automobiles. Okay, so obvious good neighbor stuff. They're trying to make this area, a residential area where people come and people live, and it's beautiful, and everybody likes it, and it's nice and it's pretty to look at. So they don't want you putting some sort of eyesore on the property. Obviously, they're going to have rules in here about, I saw it down here earlier, about trailers, about what you could do with trailer units. I haven't read through these, but I know I've seen enough trailers parked out there from the photography that we've had of these properties and others that obviously having a trailer is not forbidden. But if you read through these, you're going to get a better sense of what exactly they want you to do with the thing. And again, some of this is a little harder to read than others, so I'd encourage you to kind of zoom in. Use the little zoom button down here, and you'll be able to read these a little better. Okay. Finally, I just want to say there's some county contact information down here. If you guys have any hyper-specific questions about zoning out there that the CCRs don't answer, and I can't imagine they won't, I encourage you to call Luna County Planning and Zoning and ask them, talk to them about it. Simultaneously, we also have some links down here for information about well drilling, about getting a well on the property. And a lot of that information you're going to be able to get through the state engineer's website. We also have some helpful links down here. Finally, I just, of course, want to reiterate that all of these pictures are from the exact property. So if you don't have time to get out there, but you do want to scoop one of these up, just look at any one of these photos. It's going to give you a sense of exactly what the property and the terrain and the surroundings are like at that specific lot. Okay? All right, guys. So with all of this said, if you're looking to purchase any one of these properties, just come up here, click the Buy Now button. It's going to bring up a secure checkout page that will load slowly like everything else tonight. Basically, we're just going to ask you for some information: legal name for deed, tax address, where Luna County is going to send where the treasurer is going to send the yearly bill, etc. You fill that information out. On the next page, credit or debit card checkout, secure checkout. You enter that information, and you're going to have purchased the property. Within 24 hours, you're going to get notification from us that's going to come in the form of an email. We're going to send you a copy of the new deed. And we're going to have you approve it. Once you approve it, we're going to autograph it, we're going to notarize it, we're going to mail it off to the county to be recorded. And once it's been recorded, they will forward it on to you. So once you give us money, as far as we're concerned, you own the property. Go out there, have fun, go nuts, do whatever you want. But it will take about 3 weeks from start to finish until the deed is within your hands. Okay? Anyway, I hope that answered all your questions, guys. I hope I addressed kind of in broad brushstrokes here everything to know about Deming Ranchettes. If you have any further questions, give us a call, 702-919-7170, or send us an email, support@hemingwayland.com. Or, get this, guys, leave a comment here on the YouTube channel. I love the comments on the YouTube channel. All right, that's all from me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.